All right. Welcome to the weekly Rebel Roundtable. I am Andy McCabe, your Rebel leader, and this is all y'all. We got a full house tonight, hoping to hear from Joe Ledbetter in a little bit about marketing. And I've got something to say about marketing. I've done a thing or two myself, marketing-wise, so I'm going to give him a head start so he can get where he can talk to us where he's not driving. But first, as always, we start every week by reading the 4 agreements as we came up with them in the first Rebel Summit at September last year. So I'm going to read these, and then we're going to get going. We're going to go with introductions after that. But first, here we go. Restoration 2.0. The Restoration Rebels push the agenda of the Restoration 2.0 movement. Our purpose is to empower the insurance consumer in order to create a more fair claims process. Rebel rule number 1. I'm multitasking. Rebel rule number 1. I will protect the value of my services. All right. Jake. All right, Sarah. Somebody mute it. Kill it. Whew. All right. Always happens every time. Maybe I should just give it 5 minutes before I do this. All right. Good? Jake, I'm going to mute you. I'm muting you. All right, can we do this again? Rebel rule number 1, I will protect the value of my services. I will never provide free services, as these only serve to erode the value of contractor services industry-wide. Rule number 2, I will practice incredible transparency. I will explain our processes in detail to my clients. I will never hide details or manipulate reports. I will never communicate with a third party without also communicating with my clients. Rule number 3, I do not believe in competition. The restoration companies in my market are part of my community. I will be an active member of the restoration community. It is our unbreakable unity that will create the change that we strive for. Rule number 4, I am willing to walk away from any project, client, or contract that is not compatible with my values and stated mission. No relationship is worth taking part in if it requires losing money, sleep, or my humanity. There we go. We got through it, and I didn't even stutter that much. It's awesome. Welcome again. Great to see y'all. Missed y'all last week. We had, 8 people in the room last week. So we got 30 so far. I'm sure we're going to get about 5 or 10 more as we go. Excuse me. This week's episode is brought to you by Riverbend Brewing. I'm drinking a little Organized Love. Organized Love, you get it? No. I wish I was sponsored. But so now we got that out of the way. Who was first time? We had, where'd you go? Mark Gocher. Gocher? Why don't you unmute yourself? Tell us where you're at, what you're doing, and what brought you to the group.
Hey, Andy. I'm Mark Gocher. I'm with Mr. Restore in the Dallas market, and I was attending some of Ben's training on Xactimate, where I learned about the group, joined up, and it's been good information so far.
Perfect. What information would you like to hear going forward? What types of stuff gets you going?
Well, I handle the billing, so anything related to the overhead and profit issue, I'm going to jump in on. Just justifying the work being that it's billed after we're done, we're always having to justify and explain to people who don't really understand it. So getting better equipped to handle those conversations is what I'm looking for.
Good. And that's the business we're in. That's just the reality of it. All right. Welcome, Mark. Thank you, sir. I'm going to go ahead and reach out and mute you again. All right. Who else is here? Jon. You called in before? Oh, what? Here, unmute. There you go.
Me?
What's up, John? Yeah, buddy.
What's going on? How you doing?
Good. Where you at? What brought you to the group, and what type of work do you do?
Fire and water damage restoration. Following you is what brought me to this group.
Hell yeah.
Oh. Can you hear me?
Cutting out there. It sounds like your microphone got covered or something.
No, it's okay. Just learning all the day-to-day operations on how to handle everything with the insurance. Learning not to back down and learning not to be on that note that John is one of the guys that will settle on his bill. And
Mm.
so anything that you're involved in, I want to be involved in.
Mm. Amen. Well, thanks for that. Thanks for that. I appreciate that. What part of the country you in?
San Jose, California.
San Jose. Did you miss me when I flew over you last week on my way down to San Diego?
Yeah, I was like, man, if I would have known, I would have flew out there.
Oh, good. So you got mitigation and repairs?
Just mitigation.
Okay.
Yeah, just the mitigation. Started going heavy on the pack outs now.
Oh, okay. Well, I've got a company for you down there. EPC. You heard of them? They do great. Daniel Meehan. Daniel Meehan raising his hands about EPC? Or is that a thumbs up on EPC? Yeah. John, welcome, brother. Welcome. Glad to have you. All right, I'm going to mute you. Daniel Meehan. I'm going to say Meehan.
Yeah, Meehan's it. I'm vice president of EPC. I'm run the Livermore chapter.
Okay. Chris and I had meetings last week.
Yeah.
Yeah. Emergency pack out code. Just doing it right. Going for the hug, baby. Going for the hug.
That's right.
All right, Daniel, you've got the microphone. Tell us about EPC yourself and what brought you to the group.
Yeah, so I'm a former adjuster with State Farm. Did adjusting for about 5 years. Learned what I needed to. Got out of there. Wasn't a pleasant experience. And saw a gap in the market, especially in the Bay Area for a pack out. I got a couple partners down south, which you know of, and so we started the emergency pack out company, which it's going well, loving it, having a good time.
Good. Well, you California folks, look him up. Southern California. You guys are actually up in Orange County too, right?
Yeah, we just started at a La Mirada, right next to Anaheim.
Yeah, there's no reason you can't make your margins and get a hug. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Good. And if all y'all missed the hug reference, just go back on the videos and you'll pick it up. Thanks, Daniel. Thanks for being here. Yeah, I'm going to mute you now. Who else? Who else is new? Jason Richards. That name doesn't sound familiar, but I'm not good with names. Jason, you new? First timer? Or just Jason? Jason Richards? Bueller? Jason Richards Bueller? All right. Sorry, we're moving on. Jim Shank. Jim Shank. This is the first time I've seen your name running around here, and why can't I unmute you? Come on. Come on, Cletus. Nothing. Well, Jim, if you can unmute yourself magically, just do it and jump in. Okay. I know Jake. Love you, Jake. But you don't get to say hi. Not just yet. Caleb, what's up, brother? Always driving somewhere. You must be always going to like that $1 million loss or on your way back from that $1 million loss, right? Yeah. Or that crawl space you want to jump into. You haven't said hi for a while. I'm going to break my rule. I'm going to unmute you. And come on. This computer's pretty laggy. Can you unmute yourself? There. Oh. There we go. Caleb, introduce yourself again.
All right, I'm Caleb Willis. I manage Central Flood Management in San Diego, California. It's a family business. We do water, fire, mold, pack outs. We also do the reconstruction and have a plumbing side.
Nice. Caleb, I always appreciate you being here. You're just watching and absorbing and learning. So that's good. What can the group do for you moving forward? What are the things you like to learn about?
I mean, it's a lot of good stuff that comes out of the group. The papers on air scrubbers, O&P. I mean, we've charged O&P. We've always charged it, but I've definitely got some better arguments for it from the group.
Okay.
Nothing like in particular at the moment.
Good. I did put you on the spot. You're used to just driving and listening. I get it. My bad.
No worries.
Caleb, thanks for being here, brother. All right, you're muted. Travis Chansey, the man, the myth. All right, for those of you that don't know, Travis has washboard abs, He has a hot wife who's a photographer for French Maxim. And he was in class with me all last week. Travis, with that introduction, take it away. Where are you at? What are you doing? What do you hope to get from the group?
I got to meet Andy McCabe at the Exact retraining in San Diego. Obviously, he had a nice little introduction for me. I appreciate that. My family's been in the business since the 1940s. My grandfather started the business as a carpet repair, carpet cleaning company, and then my dad was in the business. And then my older brother got into the business and decided to have a leg of the company that did restoration work. So at that point, I came in about 22 years ago when I was 16, working in summers and carpet cleaning and power washing and doing restoration work. And then my brother passed away 5 years ago, and then I kind of dedicated the company to him, my new company. And Abbott's is the name of my company. So having him basically look down at my business and kind of guide me into my new destiny. So that's Abbott's Fire and Flood. Yes, we're out of Denver, Colorado. So Trevor Martin is my my partner. He's a COO. I think he might. Our restoration rebel officially. I got all the stickers. I'm putting them on the trucks this week, and I'm very, very excited to have Andy in my life. I took everything out of my paperwork out of my company, and I installed his 24-hour tech paperwork into my 50 guys. I've been sitting down every Thursday going through the 24-hour tech paperwork, going through all the it's a 56-page document, training my guys to do it the right way. And I definitely believe in Andy, and I'm going to be here for life.
Travis, that's awesome. Thank you for that. I really appreciate it. Who's that in the back seat?
That's Junior. We just got done with the soccer game. So he just won 7-5, and I want him to be absorbing all this information too, because him and his brothers are very interested in restoration, and they kind of follow me around.
Nice. All right, you heard it, ladies and gentlemen. Let's keep it PG-13 tonight. PG-13. Travis, great to have you on, brother.
Hey, Andy.
Thank you, Andy.
Yeah.
Danielle, is this your first time on, Danielle? Or have you been on the call before?
No, this is my first time on the call.
Oh, okay. Hello. All kinds of newbies. Let us have it, Danielle. What's up?
Well, usually my owner chimes in. I work with Home Perfect Restoration out of San Diego. We have a corporate office in Temecula.
Everybody's in San Diego. I mean, how did I not have 100 people when I was down at the having?
I was one of the women that actually got offered to attend to be with you that day, but I was out of the country on vacation, so I didn't get to go.
I might ask you to rephrase that, but it's too late. You already said it. Okay.
But I've kind of been following you guys for a while. I'm an ambassador for Actionable Insights.
Okay.
So if anyone in San Diego is looking to attend the level 2 class, feel free to use my name as the code and you get $300 off. Level 2 class. And if you need some one-on-one help with your estimates, feel free to reach out to me.
That's worth the price of admission right there. Good job.
Exactly.
Thank you, Danielle. It's awesome to have you. Awesome to be. I mean, it looks like I got to move to San Diego because there's only 1 million of you down there.
There is a lot of us, but everyone's pretty nice down here. So
good. Well, Daniel, do you guys do mitigation and repairs?
We do full service. Yeah. We cover everything. We do commercial, residential. We don't do packaging. I use EPC. I highly recommend them. Never gone wrong there. So, and then we use plumbing companies as far as the plumbing stuff goes. But
perfect. Welcome, Danielle. I'm reading. We don't have enough women in this industry. We just don't.
We don't. That's why I'm actually, I volunteered. I got asked to co-host with State Farm a high school event here in San Diego in April to do Career Day.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm super excited to try and get some more women into this industry. No, I got invited to a all women's restoration group thing through Facebook, but a lot of them are located in Canada, so it doesn't really too much here, but
Doesn't, yeah, it's a start. It's a start. I think there's a lot of us out there that it's not lost on us how male these conversations tend to get. And I appreciate you being here. And Dawn.
Andy, what do you think about the Rebelettes?
The Rebelettes, I mean, it's not for me to say. That's really not for me to say. Hey, Dawn, you haven't introduced yourself for a while. Speaking of women in the industry, Dawn, why don't you say hi?
Hi, everybody. How are you?
Doing well, thank you.
It's been busy up here on the East Coast. We've had, between the frozen pipes, the sump pump failure, we've been working hard, to say the least.
Mm.
And that's why I'm a little late tonight. Was on the phone getting another job in. So it's been kind of crazy.
That's what we do. That's what we do. You know what's? Oh, I just hit my microphone. We have a second page. I'm gonna have to click over here to see who's on the second page. Michelle Gray is over here on the second page. See, I didn't know that. Thanks, Don. Good to have you on.
Thanks.
Okay, Michelle Gray. I'm unmuting you because we're just gonna go. Every woman that calls in tonight gets to say something. How about that? We want to promote women. I need more women in my life. Is that bad? I mean, that didn't sound right at all, but I'm going to go with it. All right, Michelle, what's up?
I'm doing well. This is actually my first time I've called in to Zoom as well.
There we go. All right. Well, who do you represent and what part of the country?
Verity Restoration. We're out of Portland.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, yes. Oh, you were.
You all helped us start out on the right foot, so we didn't fall into any of these terrible holes.
How can I?
And we've been working since day one with all of your help, and profitable since day one. So we owe you all everything.
You're not even 12 months in yet.
No, we're like 12 weeks basically. Basically. So yeah.
How's it going? What are your first jobs looking like?
It's going fantastically. We have done several mold jobs. We have done everything that we've done. We've avoided getting into arguments with the insurance. We've done a few that have gone through with no problem.
Mm-hmm.
We are avoiding Xactimate. We're just doing time and materials. And I think that's how we're not getting into fights, because we just kind of lump it all together, give them a lump sum. And it's a lot harder to argue with us because we're not talking the same language. So,
you know, and for a number of years, we could have an entire show on this, but for a number of years, I thought the reason to use Xactimate was so you could be speaking the same language. And I'm seeing a different trend. I'm seeing things go a different way. Michelle, I'm so glad to hear things are going well. I missed you last time I was in Portland. That will not happen again.
We'll make it work next time.
We will make it work. All right. Thanks, Michelle. I'm going to go ahead and mute you. And Lindsay Malam. Since I started down this road, Lindsay, you're the last woman on here that I see named. I tried to unmute you just now. You can try to unmute yourself. I'm going to go back to the first page. Well, okay, I'm going to have to come back to Christine because that's not fair if I don't let Christine say hi. Oh, no? Okay, fine. Lindsay, there you are.
Yes, sir.
Lindsay, what are you doing? What part of the country are you in? And what brought you to the group?
Ocala.
Who? Ocala?
Ocala, Florida.
Ocala. See, Florida has funny names for cities. I'm just going to say it. I don't know. I never know how to pronounce them.
Yes.
So what are you doing? What are you doing now?
Right now I am working on closing out some jobs in Daytona. We've had some meeting with JS Held and Ingle Martin in the last couple days.
Fun ones.
Yeah. Fighting over procure payment, charging, what we're going to do, how we're going to settle it. We were under time restraint with the timeshares, needing to get people back into it. And so some things that should have been done following normal protocol were not done. And I was brought in a little bit too late in the situation. So we're just going to do the best that we can to try to fix it and get it going.
God, there's some things you just cannot be unwound.
Yes, it's unreal. It's unreal.
God. Well, welcome. I'm sorry I can't see your pretty face, but You're probably on your phone. Looks like. All right.
Always working.
Lindsay, and you're currently looking for work, yes?
Yes, always. I'm always looking to help restoration companies as best as I can.
Perfect. Project management, documentation, a little bit of estimating. You can facilitate that as well. Very well rounded. Yes.
Yes, sir.
All right, Lizzie. Thanks for being here. I'm gonna go ahead and hit mute and move on. All right, Chris. All right, I won't call on you. All right, you didn't raise your hand, so I won't call on you. So tonight we're going to talk about marketing. And Joe, let me come back to my other page. I love having 2 pages of rebels. Okay, first, is there any other first-time callers? First-time callers. That's what it's going to be from here on out. Any other first-time callers tonight that I have not introduced?
This is Trevor.
Trevor, hold on. Let me find you on my screen.
Show me on.
Oh, there you are, Trevor Martin. Yes, sir.
Yes, I work with Travis Chansey.
Ah.
So he might have a 6-pack, but I only have a 1-pack.
I call it a keg. I call it a keg.
That's exactly. But I work with Travis out of Denver. It's Abbott's Fire and Flood Restoration, and we do both mitigation and repair, and we also do asbestos abatement.
Perfect. And in the beautiful, beautiful state of Colorado. What's your guys' I was talking with Mike Davis, who can't be on the call tonight, today. What's your guys' service area like in Colorado?
Well, primarily there's Denver, Colorado Springs, and then Fort Collins are the primary, the 3 marketplaces.
Love Fort Collins.
And Boulder. So we service the Denver Boulder area primarily.
Okay.
Sometimes we go to the mountains, but
I didn't mention this last week to Travis, but I spent 4 years in Laramie.
Well, good for you.
Wow.
So I know that part of the country. So Trevor, thanks for being here, brother. I'm assuming Travis reeled you into the Restoration Rebels? Good.
I reeled him in.
I
reeled him in.
You guys gonna have to arm wrestle about
yeah, we're gonna have to do that later.
That's awesome. You guys, I gotta say that the quality of contractor that's in this group is exceptionally high. And I'm not just saying that because I want it to be, it just is. We have a way, and we have developed over the last, 12 months, we get just the best folks. The people that are not the best, top tier in their markets, just don't show up, or they burn out quick. We show them the door. They do not last in the chat that that long because they cannot play the game at the level that we are playing it. So we have 32 top-notch contractors in the room right now, and it's a testament to not me. It's a testament to you all. For being here and showing up in a real way. So I appreciate that much. Trevor, thanks so much for being here.
Thanks, Andy.
All right. So I'm going to lead into Joe Ledbetter. I was about to, then I got distracted. Part of the reason we're here is because we all understand that the market is changing. The realities in the market realities that we deal with on a daily basis, we know the TPAs are not going to be here in the future, but they're here now. So the future, and we exist to accelerate contractors into the Restoration 2.0 reality. That's why we exist. That's why I exist. That's why I'm doing this. In order to get to that reality, we have to survive. And so I'm hearing myself again. Who's here? Hold on. I think it was Clark. I'm going to blame Clark. No, there we go. Muted. Oh, sorry. We need to be profitable, but we also need to get business in the door. So it doesn't matter how profitable we are on the work we do unless we get more and more of it. And that's all about marketing. And when I was at the TPA Summit last year, I heard a lot of TPAs talk about how we needed them and how they should look at the percentages of claims, the 5 or 10 or 8, whatever percent that we give them as contractors to be part of their program. We should look at that as a marketing expense, right? Because they give us work and we don't have to go market. Well, the only problem with that argument is the work that we get from them, we're doing at a 10% discount at least. So not only are we giving them our 5%, thank you. There's a meme out there at 5%. I am proud of it. I am not going to back down from that meme. You all know what I'm talking about that are in the know. Not only do you have to give up the 5% for the work, you have to give up the 10 or 20% to adhere to their rules. So you're 25 to 30% behind the 8 ball before you even get out of the gate. And we're supposed to call that 30% a marketing expense. Here's my argument to that. What if you took that 30% or half of that 30% and put it into real marketing, put it into real promotion? That's what we're here to talk about tonight. That's what Joe is about to talk about. And is that a good enough lead in? I got y'all psyched. That's what we're talking about tonight. So Joe, go ahead and take it away.
Hey, what's going on, Rebels? I hope everyone's having good time tonight. I'm going to cut right to the chase. At the end of the day, as we all know, the industry is changing. But with that being said, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, we were still going after organic work. So nothing changes. What I want to talk to you guys about tonight is how to get your own jobs without spending money, without spending efforts, without spending a whole lot of energy, without getting real results. All right, so for those of you who don't know, I'm in Metro Detroit. In Metro Detroit, we got 4 inches of rain today. You know what 4 inches of rain does for us in the middle of winter with a foot of snow already on the ground? Sub-pump claims until you can't walk anymore. $5,000 limits all over Metro Detroit. If you're a restorer in Metro Detroit, you're working 48 hours doing sub-pump claims. So my question is where did those claims come from? Did they come from the TPA? Did they come from a plumber, most likely? Or did they come from an existing customer base? Now, for any of you who've been in business more than a year, right, it's about 50-50, customer-based plumber. You've been marketing those plumbers, paying them for those leads, taking them to lunch, giving them some repair work. And guess what? Those claims, they're worth $5,000. That's what they're worth on a retail side. Ouch. What is your what's your margin on that? Your margin on that $5,000 job, at the end of the day, if you really know your numbers, you're putting $2,000 of potential profit in your pocket. A lot of work for $2,000. I mean, it's a lot of work. You got to maintain that hustle. So what I want to do is I want to open your guys' eyes to understand a bigger fish, a better job, a higher margin opportunity, higher average jobs with the same, if not less effort that you go after with plumbers every single day.
Do you mean that not every job is a good job?
Not every job is a good job. Listen, 22 years in the business, I can tell you right now, the best jobs I've ever had are the ones I've walked away from. I swear to God. So, all right. So
let's the ones you did not lose your ass on, which are gold. Yes, I understand. Keep going. Sorry.
Exactly. So let's talk about the next fish in the cycle of water damage, right? When we look at a property, right, it's always about plumbing or potentially a wind issue. So it's really simple. Go talk to the appliance repair guys. Like tomorrow, get off this call, Google that shit in your local market, find every appliance repair guy, and go have a conversation with them. And here's what you're going to find. I swear to God. We've never even talked to a restoration company. What do you mean restoration? What's restoration? They're going to look at you so dumbfounded.
What's restoration?
They're going to be, and you're going to be like, oh my God, no one's ever talked to this guy? Well, listen, John, you want to go to the Red Wings game? You're going to be salivating at the opportunity, and here's why. Here's why. Do you know what the average water line break is in a kitchen? Do you know the value of that claim? Mitigation, repairs, contents, all in?
Let's take it. I'm going to say $25,000. Anyone else got a guess? I'm going to say.
I got $25,000. Anyone else want to put a number out there?
Okay,
claim all.
Put your fingers.
Claim all in.
I'd say in the Northeast about $60,000.
Oh,
60 Northeast. Okay. Yeah, you get into Connecticut.
You're like
you get into Connecticut, those are some expensive kitchens all day. Here's the facts from the insurance industry, guys. I'm not making this up. This comes from the underwriters themselves. The average kitchen claim from a water leak in a refrigerator is $43,000.
Woof.
All right, now, some of you may say, well, Joe, I don't do repairs. We're just a mitigation company. Okay, well, you know what the mitigation is on that? 12 grand. So every time you go talk to the appliance repair guy that no one's ever talked to, that's a $12,000 phone call on average coming into your phone. And if you do repairs, it's 40 grand. So my question is, why the heck are you still talking to plumbers? I love plumbers. I use them every day. We've got a couple in our resources that we can call every day. But I stopped marketing to plumbers a long time ago, like a really long time ago, when I did my first appliance repair. And the guy's like, it's a $50,000 claim. I'm like, yeah, I'll take 5 of those a week. How can we get more? and then it became something very powerful, because now we're doing higher value jobs, less volume of jobs, less volume, no question about it. My staff was not wasted from being used.
Mm-hmm.
Our office staff was not overtaxed from being used. Amazing things started to happen when we stopped pushing ourselves to a capabilities that we didn't have. And we didn't spend a penny more. I didn't spend 1 single cent to do anything different than go have a conversation with someone who wasn't even expecting the conversation.
Right.
They weren't even expecting it. All right, so $42,000. How many of you, by a show of hands, would rather go talk to an appliance repair guy tomorrow than go talk to a plumber? Right, all of us.
Yes, sir. Yes,
all right,
sir.
So now let's go to the next level. Yeah, there's a whole nother level. Like the claims, they're going to keep getting bigger from this point on, and they're even easier to get. Guys, I'm not making this shit up. I swear to you right now, this stuff is so simple. So simple. You can send the least you can send the least qualified, the least trained, the least knowledgeable person in your company tomorrow to go talk to an appliance guy, and you're going to get an opportunity within the next 2 weeks. All right, so the next level. On all HO3 policies in the United States, they cover raccoon damage, because a raccoon is a mammal.
Mammal.
Right?
Varmint.
Okay. Does anybody know what the average raccoon claim is? Anybody? Show of hands. Throw a number out there.
We got 6 grand. Ken Stokes 6. I'm gonna say 12. I'm gonna say
12. Okay. All right. So guys, here's the answer.
6-0, Ken.
Yeah. Listen, the answer is 60 grand. The answer is $60,000. Okay.
This guy knows something.
Here's what the carrier doesn't pay for, though. So here's what the carrier doesn't pay for. The carrier doesn't pay for the physical feces removal. Okay. But they're going to pay to take out the insulation, to disinfect the space, to deal with the wiring. You fill in the blank. The roof damage, right? We're buying roofs now. 60 grand.
What about chewing into the plumbing?
Every aspect that they've had direct damage to, except the feces removal. They consider that an environmental on all HO3s, so they never pay for that piece of it. So know that when you write that estimate. So here's the deal: 60 grand. You go out tomorrow and you talk to your critter control guys, they're gonna be like, restoration companies, way clueless. No one's ever talked to them. I sat there, went into my marketplace, and secured every single one in the phone book. Like there wasn't one that doesn't work with us. And so I learned all about raccoons. I learned stuff about raccoons I never wanted to know. But guess what? There's a season on and off, just like ice dams and sub pump claims and frozen pipes. We got a raccoon season here in Detroit, and it is so freaking profitable. It's like at one point we joked and we said, you know what? Why don't we just take the rest of the year off and just do raccoon claims in the spring and fall? Because I've got 4 technicians. I got 4 technicians in an attic for 2 days. I got 3 or 4 subs rolling through with insulation, electrical inspections. Nonsense. And God forbid it's a balloon construction home. So for those of you who may not know, balloon construction means that there's no separation within the walls from floor to floor. It's just one big wall cavity. If a raccoon gets into that and starts crapping in one of those cavities, you take that 60 to 100 without even blinking an eye. Like the estimate starts at 100 grand walking in the door. So again, who wants to go talk to plumbers tomorrow? I know I'm not. I'm talking to appliance repair guys. I'm talking to specifically critter control for raccoons. I don't care about bats. I don't care about bat guano. Yeah, there's some money in that. I'm not playing that game. I'm not going after anything other than raccoons.
Dude, I don't do flying things that bite for blood. I just don't do that.
Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm good. So now, all right.
There's more?
Oh, there's always more.
Hey,
there's so much more. Now, here's the best part. I don't care what marketplace you're in. I don't care if you're in the east, the north, the south. I don't care where you're at. In every single community.
Lindsay, is that a pet bat? Lindsay, really? No. Okay. Lindsay's showing us a picture of a bat. That's.
You go, Lindsay. All right, so listen. I don't care what part of the country you're in. Every single part of the country was developed at the exact same time, meaning that we have neighborhoods that were built in the 50s. We got neighborhoods that were built in the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, etc., 30s. Every single market in this country has those neighborhoods. Do you know what those neighborhoods are prone for? Builder defects. And when I say builder defects, I don't mean that the guys went in and did a really bad job building the home. What I mean is there's neighborhoods built in the 50s, built in the 60s, in which they thought it was a great idea to do hydronic boiler systems in the slabs of the concrete. Okay? Well, let me tell you what happens after about 60 years of a copper pipe sitting in a concrete slab on grade. It fails.
It's done.
It's done. Do you know the value of that one single claim? All in, it's $100,000. I'm breaking through that concrete floor in the living room of a 1,000 square foot house. It's $100,000 claim, equal almost to the value of the home.
Absolutely.
So here's what happened, right? I'm in Metro Detroit. I get this call. I get there, got my thermal camera. The house is soaking wet. I'm like, where's the water coming from? Why is the floor lighting up like red? Like, this doesn't make any sense. I was all, rookie trying to figure shit out. And I come to find out there's a break in the boiler line. I'm like, holy crap. Like, this is a big claim, $100,000. The very next day I said, you know what? That entire square mile was built identical. Like, every single house is the same. So here's what I did. I dropped $5,000 without even blinking an eye. And I hit these people with a postcard every 2 days in this square mile. I took yard signs and hit them with yard signs. I took trucks after hours, drove them to the subdivision at 5 and 6 o'clock so they could just see the company branding, see the namings. And then I created a plumbing postcard. I don't even own a plumbing company. I took a plumbing postcard and I mailed it to the same freaking people. Guess what happened within 1 year? $2.9 million in claims. I spent $5,000. Guys, I'm not making this shit up. Like, it's so simple to do. Go on Google, go on city data, and find out what cities were built in the 50s, drive through them, confirm they're on slabs, and start marketing to them. These are building failures that are prone to happen statistically. I can't make it up. And the best part is, guys, it's not weather driven. So for those of you who live in the north, and so those of you who live in the south who drive our businesses by weather events, guess what? This is consistent, regular income. Very, very powerful. So another phenomenal building defect.
Well,
and this
side note, there's a reason that I tapped Joe Ledbetter to run the Restoration Rebel website. Joe is going to be around this movement right here for quite some time because no other reason lots of reasons, but the main one is I want him to be, because this man is bringing it. All right, keep bringing it, Joe. What's up?
All right. So here's another really good building defect that we found all over the United States. We call them a split level or a tri-level or a multi-level home here in the Michigan market. You guys may call them something different, but it's the same house where basically you walk in, half a set of flights down, you go to the lower level, half a flight up, you're on the second level. Main floor is at ground level.
Yep.
All right.
Split level.
So when they built these homes, there's the kitchen on one side, you got bathrooms on the other. There's a main drain, 4 to 6 inch drain, that's coming directly through and underneath that split level foundation. Just so you guys know, they don't build split level homes anymore. They stopped building them like in 1980. You want to know why? Because the settling deflection of the two basic weights of the home were creating foundation issues. So they still make them occasionally, but it's not a popular floor plan for that reason. So guess what that means when the home's 20 and 30 years old? That main drain is collapsed. It's collapsed right at that point. When you have a drain that's completely collapsed underneath the foundation, I mean, guys, it's a $40,000 claim without even blinking an eye.
No, wait a minute. Is that a covered loss, though?
It absolutely is. So here's the thing. If you have and I'm going to use this word loosely because all carriers have different language they like. If you have a damaged drain that's caused a blockage within the 4 walls of your home, within below the foundation, that's a covered claim. That's part of the plumbing system within the structure.
All right.
So
I'm going to hit pause, Joe. Ken, I think you have something to say about this. I want to hear it. Go ahead, Ken. Go ahead.
I said, I think Joe's a PA.
Ah,
he's a PA. He's on point, man. That's good stuff.
He's not.
Good stuff.
He's not.
Yeah, listen, guys.
Does that ring true, Ken? Is this driving? Yeah. Oh, okay. I thought you might have something to say. No, that's no.
It's good.
Yeah, no, guys, listen. I assure you not. I'm definitely not a PA. I'm a restorer through and through.
No,
I'm
a PA. Easy
yeah.
now. Don't go too far. Come
Yeah,
on.
I'm just saying. I mean, whatever. I'm not a PA, but so listen. Let's get back to this, right? Because I need you guys to take away from this today, and I want you to apply this to your businesses tomorrow because you're all going to get ridiculous rewards from it. So fundamentally, right? Again, we're spending energy marketing plumbers. I'm asking you to stop. I'm asking you to stop doing that and start marketing the next tier and the next tier and the next process. Start getting jobs where your average job is 30 grand, 40 grand, 50 grand. Stop messing around with your average job being at 6 or 7. Watch your business dramatically change. Now, to Andy's point earlier, right? So if you're on a TPA program and they're giving you $1 million in business, hard cash, you're out 100 grand. Hard cash. All the incidentals, about another 100 grand. But let's just talk about hard cash, real tangible money. I would challenge any of you that are on a TPA doing $1 million or more in revenue right now to turn that spigot off tomorrow. Turn it off. Turn it off. Just like,
scary, bro.
stop.
Scary.
Have a nice day. Listen, you got to have some really big, right? So, but I challenge you to do it. And here's why. I want you to take 20 grand, not 100 grand, because 100 grand is over a year. I want you to take 20 grand, and I want you to hire 4 part-time college females that are studying English at your local community college. 4 part-time girls, okay?
Okay.
There's a reason for a female, and there's a reason for their study to be English and for them to be in college. Being in college, first and foremost, they're hungry for money. Mm-hmm. Second, this job specifically, they can do on their own time when they want. Okay. So it's very convenient for millennials. And third, English, because what I'm going to have them do for you, they need to make sure that their punctuation, their spelling is all that is professional.
Okay.
All right. Now, I'm not going to take credit for this idea. I wish I could, but I can't. I'm actually stealing this from Gary. I'm stealing it from Gary V. And we saw this like about a year and a half ago. We started doing it. And the results made me sick to my stomach. They were so real. They were so tangible.
All right. Hold on. If y'all haven't heard of Gary Vaynerchuk, just do yourself a favor after the call. Go to YouTube, type in Gary V, V-E-E. You're going to find Gary Vaynerchuk, and you're going to learn some just phenomenal stuff. So that's side note. Sorry, Joe. I keep interrupting you, but you're on a roll.
It's all good. No, it's all good. So I stole this from Gary V, and here's what it is. It's back to the consumer direct relationships. How do I contact somebody who potentially has the ability to help me grow my business? Or how do I contact somebody that may need my services? And it's Instagram, right? It's Instagram, yes. Simply put. And here's what we do. So we get a windstorm
it is Gary V. Yes.
Yeah, right, totally. So we get a windstorm, comes to Metro Detroit, 40 miles an hour or higher. Our radars go off in our office, and we are mad focused on like where this weather pattern came through.
Okay.
So we'll identify the weather track. Now we got it narrowed down geographically to like a band, like a mile wide by 10 miles long, etc. And then we identify the cities. And then what we do is we put our girls, 4 college girls, on their own Instagram account. And we say, do me a favor, find me the top 10 people, popular people in that city in this map that we just put together. So they open it up and they type in, say, Royal Oak, right? They type in Royal Oak and there's 10 people that have 2,000 followers each. And if you go to their thread, you can see their last post was an hour ago. They had 300 likes. So they have a following. They have people, whether they like them or not, they're following everything that they do. So here's what our girls do. They send them a baked message. Hey, Judy, I see that you're extremely popular on Instagram. Well, here's what we'd like to do. We'd like for you to promote our company to your network of friends. And every person that calls us, we've got a $100 gift card for you, like ready to go. Are you good with that? Oh, my God, let me do it. And this girl's all over it. So our girls get this girl to post our stuff on her Instagram. And guess what, guys? Within like 40 minutes, we got 10,000 people looking at our social media. 10,000 people.
And
do you know what? But here's the thing. We haven't spent a penny because not a single referral came through yet.
Exactly.
10,000 impressions.
So, let me tell you guys. This is real. And Gary V did say this. He said this more than once. And there's you call it a loophole, call it what you will, you have direct access to everyone who's on Instagram, everyone. And all you got to do is go to your area and see who the most popular person is or popular people are. There's a, who has, you're not keyword searching this. You're looking at just posts, like who has the most followers in this zip code or geographic area. And they allow you to direct message them. They allow you to send them a solicitation or a message directly. I don't know when they're going to close it. They may never close this loophole, but you have direct access now with someone with 100 million followers. Whether they're actually reading their direct messages, that's a different story altogether. But in your local market, I highly suspect that there's no one with 100 million followers. They're probably people that check their direct messages. And if you send them a value proposition, and let me piggyback on Gary Vee, you've got to give first. Give. All right. Hey, I understand you're very popular. I like your content. How would you like to earn a $100 gift card? All you got to do is blah, blah, blah.
Done.
So, all right, keep going.
So what that does, that gives us impressions. That gives us people that may or may not need our services, not really sure, but it's coming from a trusted source of theirs. So they trust this person. So there's the value connect. Now, out of 10,000 views, guess what happens? It's a numbers game. Yeah, we get 100 leads. 100 leads. And our sales guys, we go do our thing, and we close 80%, 90%. Okay. The average
20% doesn't matter.
Well, it doesn't matter, right? Because our costs are so negligible. Our costs are less than 2%. The customer acquisition cost is like negligible. Considering the average wind claim, right, that we deal with on average is like 42 to 43 grand on average, because once you get into siding, roofing, etc., they're pretty good sized claims. So for me to pay $100, $100. Listen, I can't buy a freaking Google AdWord for $100 that says wind damage during that time. What are you smoking? So for $100, I've got 5 leads over here, 6 leads over here, 8 leads over here, and then here's where we take it to the whole nother level, right? The cost to acquire a customer, guys, there's always a cost. I don't care what anybody says. If you're doing it right, every time you market, you're reducing that cost. So here's what we do. After we've gotten in and done that raccoon claim, after we've gotten in and done, the storm damage through our Instagram or whatever the surge may be, after we've gone in and met with that customer and serviced them, we market to that customer. I know that sounds fucking crazy, right? Like, what do you mean market to my existing customer? Because nobody really does that. But that's what we do. That's what we do. So here's what we do. We all have seasonalities specifically in our local markets, whatever they may be. We hit our customers with those seasonal damage, issues. So when there's ice dams going on, they're getting that ice dam postcard. They're getting that ice dam email. They're getting these things. And we incentivize all of our customers. Hey, you may not have an issue. We hope you don't. We know we did a claim for you last year, but let your friends and family know. Forward this on. And we watch how many people send that on to the next person or forward it on. And at this point right now, we're at like a 39% rate of people forwarding our content onto other people. That's huge.
You can't
huge.
That.
No, and because I'm coming out as a trusted source. So once you have the customer, you have to dedicate time. You have to dedicate energy and effort to simply drip marketing them, talking to them about other services. And for those of you who do repairs and do full-blown reconstruction, and you got some trades and you got subs, why aren't you talking to your customer in 6 months about doing their roof? Why aren't you talking to your customer in 6 months about doing a kitchen remodel? You did a flood in their basement. I can't even tell you how many floods I did in the basement that turned into a $50,000 kitchen.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know what it cost me to get that kitchen? A couple of postcards.
Let's talk about that because you did a claim.
Let's talk about customer acquisition. I mean, at the end of the day, you guys, I want you as a group, we want you as leaders to take the next step in your business. We want you to unchain yourselves from people being in control of your business that aren't you. And that doesn't mean doesn't mean I'm talking about the TPAs. It doesn't mean I'm talking about anything. I'm just saying you as business owners need to break the chains and start making better decisions and going after valued jobs. Change what you're doing. Watch the impact. Watch the change in your business immediately. When all of a sudden your average jobs are higher, the amount of your jobs are less, your employees aren't worked as hard, Your margin is higher. Your accountant's sitting with you in September saying, dude, you got to spend some freaking money. Like, you need to spend some money. That's the conversation that you need to be in. And you're not going to be in that position if you're chasing plumbers for $5,000 a day. Like, that doesn't work. I don't care what the math is. That doesn't work.
I cannot wait for the day when I, A, have an accountant, and B, he called in December 15th and said, bro, you gotta buy a car. What do you mean I got to buy a car? You just trade it in. I don't care. You got to buy a car. You got to have some more costs. I'd love that's. I'm waiting for that conversation.
So, guys, this conversation can go really deep. We can go down this rabbit hole really far. We can start talking about a lot of different variables and how to be even more successful when you get those opportunities. But I don't want to go there today. We'll talk about that another day. I just want you to really let it resonate that everyone goes after plumbers. And so if you've gotten into the industry and that's what you've been told, I'm sorry, but guys, that's like the short end of the stick. Yeah, I need you all tomorrow to reach out to the appliance repair people. Yes. Reach out to the raccoon people. And here's another phenomenal industry, by the way. Phenomenal. Water softeners. How many of you live in the country, part of the country we got hard water? These guys are coming into homes every single day with water damage, and they don't know how to deal with it, right? So now let's talk about how we complete this cycle. So you got the nerve, you got the list, and you start calling appliance guys tomorrow, and this guy's gonna I'll sit down with you, sure, whatever. Well, how do you get him to now transition you into that opportunity? Because that's going to come up, and if you don't address that, if you don't coach him, if you don't walk him through that, then ultimately you're not going to get the lead. So it's really simple. It's really simple. You show him your fancy, pretty thermal camera, right? And he's like, oh, wow, look at that. And you say, listen, John, here's what we're going to do at no charge for you and your customers. You ever walk into a home and they've got a broken water line from a fridge or a dishwasher, you just call us. We're going to show up while you're there. We're going to walk in the house. We're going to introduce ourselves, and we're going to say, Mrs. Smith, we're here on behalf of John. We have a thermal camera. We just want to make sure that the water didn't get in places that it wasn't supposed to. It's a complimentary service. Oh, that's great. And then guess what? Mrs. Wethead sees a thermal camera, freaks out, starts thinking mold. We have to calm her down, right? Say, listen, it's fresh water. It's 48 hours, like slow the roll, right? And then we set an expectation level, and we explain the claims process, and we're very transparent. Like, there's no misleading. Mrs. Jones, you're going to have to pay your deductible today. We don't collect the deductible. We collect the deposit, so that's how it's verbalized on our work authorization. But we will be collecting that today, and we walk them through how the process is going to be so that they fully understand. More importantly, we set an expectation level of what's about to happen. And then we move the claim forward. And here's the best part. The entire time, the appliance repair guy's sitting there with his mouth going, oh, my God, these guys are awesome. They're phenomenal. Guess what happens? I get a call the next day, and the next day, and the next day.
Let's segue. I'm going to open them. We're going to open the mic. We're going to have some questions. We got time for questions for the first time in a long time. Right out of the gate, and I think you may have touched on this just now, but let's have the question asked. Joe, how much do you pay out to appliance repair and critter guys per lead?
That's a great question. So here's how we work, guys. I keep it really simple. I don't care about the value of the claim whatsoever. I don't care if it's $100 or $100,000. $100 Visa gift cards is what we give to everybody that refers us an opportunity. Now, with that being said, at the end of the year, we run reports. We say, wow, this guy gave us like $1 million in business. That guy gets something a little extra at the end of the year, but that's predicated on what we decide to give them.
Sure.
Because here's the reality. It's not about the money we give them. What we're doing is we're preserving their brand. We're coming in with them and making them look good, and we're not a bunch of idiots. So they're really they're proud of that. And then you know what we do? We bend over backwards to get them business. Yes. So if I come to a house and I see that they've had raccoon damage, but it's not a claim, and they've got an issue, call these guys. They're going to take care of this, make sure it doesn't happen again. We go into a house. So check this out with our appliance repair guys. We don't use plumbers to install appliances. Everyone else wants to use their plumbers to install appliances on a rebuild, right? No, we don't do that. We call the appliance repair guys, and we say, hey, dude, here's $300. Will you hook up this washer and dryer? They're like, dude, I only charge you $150. I'm like, yeah, but here's $300, man. Have a nice day. Because on my estimate to carry, right, I build like $390 plus O&P, so I'm good with it. I'm not greedy, so I got them on every job. Yeah. So it's reciprocity. It's not It's not about what I'm paying them, guys. It's about building relationships. Because at the end of the day, do you know why they call us every time? It's the relationship. It's not the $100. Listen, I've gotten in technicians' trucks at the end of the day that's referred us business, right? 4 jobs in a day. The technician's got like $800 of gift cards I've given him over the past week. And I say, dude, you going to spend that money or what? He's like, dude, I can't spend it that fast. I can't spend it that fast. Okay. All right. Works for me. Next question.
All right. Let's open it up. Who's got a question? This is phenomenal. Just amazing. There's a lot of jaws that need to be picked up. I mean, just pick them up. Close your mouth. Come on. All right, Stuart, what's up, buddy? Stuart, let me have it. No, he's just saying my jaw was on the ground. Yeah. Phenomenal. Clark chimed in and said Joe was shot out of a cannon tonight. And yes, he was. Travis, you got a follow up?
Yeah. So hey, Joe. So when you get into a raccoon claim, so do you actually roll services immediately and start working, with the insurance company on the phone and say, hey, this person's got damage, or do you actually, slow roll it and have the estimate done first, then you meet the adjuster out there, and then you kind of roll services after that, after everything's approved?
Yeah, so we have a rule. We don't engage with the carrier. And what I mean by that is when a customer calls us and has a need and we have a solution that we've created, we move on that solution immediately. We establish a contract with the customer that spells out if, in fact, there is a claim and it is covered and the insurance carrier does come to the table with financials for recovery, that we'll be owed that money, and we'll work with them happily. But this is a contract between you and I, and this is what we're doing, and we move forward. Once in a blue moon, we may hold on, but I mean, it's about as rare. And I, just from experience, I'll tell you right now, if you don't act on any opportunity you get right then and there, the chances of you keeping that job start to be reduced daily. So we don't wait around. We move forward on them right away. So on a raccoon claim, right, what's the urgency? Make sure there's no animals in the house and board up temporarily their access point. So what am I doing? My critter guy's already there, right? So he's setting cages. Right, and he's going to say, all right, Joe, I'm going to call you in 2 days and let you know I got the animal out. Once the animal's out, then we can board it up. And then, so often it's not interfected into the house. So in those situations, yeah, I'm moving forward right then and there.
So you're not setting up like an industrial hygienist report and going that route. You're just basically
no, I don't.
If it's called for, right?
I mean, listen. So again, if to Andy's point, if it's in the home, if there's a potential, any sort of a real human interaction of hazard, absolutely, right. There's a lot of additional protocols. But if I'm in an attic, which does not share the airspace the same of the home, right? We know this from construction. No, I'm going to follow the protocol as though it's the worst contaminant possibly known to man, regardless of what it may test at. Everyone's going to be in the fullest possible PPE, and we're going to document it. We're going to be safe about it, and we're going to create a solution. There is no formal training for this type of remediation. There's no IICRC. There's no RIA class. There's nothing. So you have to look at it as it's the worst environment. Now, when you, again, back to setting the expectations with the customer, if while talking to the customer, I feel that they're going to be needy, if I feel that they're going to be a hypochondriac, if I feel that they're going to be litigious, absolutely. Cross my T's, dot my I's. I'll have my hygienist out the next day, and they're going to do air sampling on the inside. And you know what they're going to tell the customer? Mrs. Smith, everything is fine on the inside. The issue they're dealing with is isolated in the attic. So I'll squash that within 48 hours. But often, no, we just move forward. I'm going to take care of the customer.
So you set up like a payment plan with them immediately, or how do you work that out if they have $50,000?
Yeah, so on a large valued project, right, again, we're not stupid, right? So we're not going to enter into a contract, putting a homeowner on the hook for $50,000 if we didn't think there was going to be coverage. So we do our due diligence, we review the policy, we move forward knowing that it's going to be a claim, there's going to be, monies from the carrier. But so what we do establish is a deposit, not a deductible, and that deposit is always the value of their deductible, coincidentally. And we collect that, and we take their credit card, and we just let them know that within 30 days, if we're not paid within the carrier, that we will start to do, payments with you. If you could pay the whole thing at once, or you want to make payments over 3 months, we'll work with you either way. We've steered away from financing projects. We didn't like that. We did it for a little bit, but at the end of the day, sometimes people get burned on that. Mm-hmm. So, and we've never had anything go awry. a handful of times you end up finding out that their policy was, say, lapsed or canceled. But again, I mean, what are we really putting into our job costs within the first 48 hours? I mean, really. I mean, it's pretty negligible. So, you know, has there been times when we've had to bite it? Yeah, I'm not going to lie. Like, let's not kid ourselves. Those things happen. Do they happen often? No, because we quantify and we qualify our customers.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Any other questions? Yeah, go ahead. I'm gonna unmute. Go ahead.
I got to take off, guys. Got to get dinner going. So, hey, thanks, guys. Appreciate it. We'll see you next week.
Thanks for being here, brother.
Thanks a lot. Bye.
Okay, so Blaine says, he says he's got. I'm going to mute. Okay, mute. Blaine says this is what the summit will be all about, but more. Incredible value coming. I couldn't disagree with that statement, Blaine. This is what we're about. Not just the summit. This is what we're about. And yes, the summit is how do we transition all of ourselves off of dependency on other people for our destiny. That's what it comes down to. I don't like relying on other people to put food on the table for my family. No, I'm not going to let some corporate board somewhere who's controlled by shareholders say whether or not my family gets to go on vacation next year. No, that's what we're talking about. We're not talking about claim to claim profitability. We're talking about controlling our lives. We control our businesses to control our lives, to make our lives better for our people, our family first, then our businesses, then the industry at large. But we've got to keep those things in order. And if we expect somebody out here to care about what's going on here, and for all y'all listening in radio, I pointed out of my house and then into my house. There's just not a corporation in the world that cares what I make. There's not a corporation in the world that cares whether or not my kids have new shoes. And that's really what it comes down to. So let's not put our destiny in the hands of someone who does not care because they're not paid to. I had a terrible conversation with a Safeco adjuster today. Actually, it wasn't even a conversation. It was email exchange. You know the problem with that email exchange? I cared more because it wasn't personal to him. It was personal to me. It was my friend and my friend's claim and my friend's house on the line. And he was just somewhere else pushing buttons because he doesn't get paid to care. So we got to take control. We got to not even take control. We got to take responsibility. Let's call it what it is. It's not about control. It's about, oh, well, I'm going to pay my 8% or my 20% or my 30% so I don't have to take responsibility. Well, guess what? That model's broken. We got to take responsibility. Sorry, this river bend it might maybe be taking control of the microphone a little bit, but that's what it is. And I'm going to bring it back to this. That's why we're here. I didn't ask you all to come here. I just sent a message and said, this is what I believe. And guess what? This is what we believe. And we are so much more powerful together now than we were out there trying to make these arguments and fighting on our own. And this is a perfect example of Joe bringing, I mean, you're making it rain, bro. Making it rain. All right, we got one more question in the chat. Excuse me. No, but Lindsay says that's why we are all here. Take control of our lives and businesses and our customers. Rock on, Rebels. Yes, Lindsay. Absolutely. One last question. We're 6 minutes over time, which is early. Blaine, go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
Hey, buddy. All right. So the last week or two have been, I don't know, they've been interesting.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about I need to talk about that. Yes.
Yeah, I think we need to. You know, there's a lot of people that are either pulling themselves off the Rebel map or leaving the group, or maybe want to get onto the map. And you know, there seems to be for some folks a confusion about what we're doing here, who we are, what we stand for. And contrary to some belief, we are not here to fight all the time and gouge a carrier and rip people off and do unscrupulous things. That's completely the opposite of what we're doing here. I've been working in this industry for 20 plus years now, and you know, those of us that have been around for a while have seen it, and
just
it's
changed.
It's changed so much. You know, last year, Andy, it's changed so much to the point where I was sick and tired of it. Man, I'm getting out. I'm going to go drive a fucking cab or something. I don't care. And I actually left for a little bit, man, but I couldn't stand it. It's you know, it's here, you know.
Yes. Yes, it is.
So this to me represents a higher standard, a higher caliber of everything, you know. How we do what we do, the approaches. Joe, phenomenal tonight, brother. Absolutely amazing. This is what we're about. We're about helping people. We voice our opinions very strongly, fair, firm, I would say. But it's not out of line. And this tonight, for those of you, this is your first visit here, this tonight was what it's all about.
Yes.
This is what we do. We are going to make this industry better with or without you. And I think that when more people understand really who we are and what we're doing, the distraction that we're being bombarded with every day and even threatened with, well, you know, before they know it, it's going to be too late and we're going to be everywhere. So anyway, thank you for letting me speak. That's my point of view, and that's my brain for right now.
Blaine, you're one of the originals, and you will always be here. I appreciate you, brother. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. I mean, damn.
Right by the heart, man. You know.
Damn. We're coming off the RIA convention, and I believe that everyone here and everyone out in the group understands where my heart is. And also sometimes my mouth gets out in front of my heart. And I said some things that I wish I could take back, but you know you can't take them back once you say them. But I also made apologies to the things that I did say in misconceptions or misconstruances of what I did say. The bottom line is, if I was seeing and if we were seeing the changes that we needed or we thought needed to happen, we wouldn't be here. And that's my point. We're here because no one else is willing to be here. We're here because we want to be the change in the world that we want to see. I think that was Gandhi. I'm not going to take credit for that. So that's the bottom line. All right, Travis, you got your hand raised like a good child. I mean, it's respectful. I appreciate that. What's up?
Well, I just want to say how grateful I am to be here for my first time and seeing all the faces out there that are, have the same vision that we all have now. So I'm just, want to say thank you, Andy, for, being out there in San Diego and being the gentle giant you are, putting your hand across and shaking my hand. And I just really didn't realize you're 7 feet tall, but it's just it's a blessing to have these people in the room. And I think we have a great vision, and just, even if there's the naysayers on the side, I mean, we just got to keep the positive energy going and keep our head up and just do good work out there for our customers. And I'm really appreciative to just be a part of this group, and thank you for having me for the first time here.
Oh, it's a blessing, man. Your words mean a lot to me, mean the world to me. Appreciate that. And we are here because we want to make a difference. And guess what? We can, and we are. I had some really tough conversations last week, and we let's put this in perspective. We lost 10 members. Where's my camera? 10. All right. We lost 10 folks. But guess what? That happens when the heat gets turned up, when the attention, when the lights get turned on and the attention comes. We lost 10 folks. A couple of those folks I was sad to see go. A couple of those folks reached out to me on the phone and said, Andy, these are the reasons. I've had 5 phone calls and your name came up all 5 times, and I can't have that because of the position of I get that. My job is to be the beacon. My job is to be the bullseye. And if your company becomes the bullseye, then that's was unintended, and refocus on me or refocus on this group. But if you're not comfortable being in a little bit of the heat, a little bit of a target, well, don't put this, just don't put this on your shirt. Don't put this on your webpage. Don't get on the Rebel map, because it's going to bring the heat, because you know why? We are making a difference, and it's making people nervous. And that is exactly the intent, because people don't change when they're comfortable. Big mechanisms, billion-dollar industries don't change when they're comfortable. They change when they have to. So we're forcing change. We're pushing the envelope, and we are moving the needle witnessed by the fact of people calling me and emailing me saying, hey, I need off the map. I got kicked off a TPA program. Guess what? If you got kicked off a TPA program last week and you're not part of this call and you missed what Joe just said, that's not on me. That's on you, bro. So I'm sorry. Joe just replaced 200% of the revenue you just lost. Sorry. Ken, I want to give you the last word, Ken. We're gonna go out here. Ken, you take more heat. I would say, just being a public adjuster, doing what you do, you take more heat than most of us lowly contractors. So why don't you give us a last word on what Joe just said tonight, and a group of everything else, whatever you want to say. This is not my microphone; it's yours. Go ahead. Oh, you were not muted, so I'm going to unmute you there. Oh, so close. All right, you hit the button because it's not working for me. There you go.
Yes, man. I mean, that was like refreshing. That was some good stuff.
It's what we do.
It was. I mean, he understands what. I mean, it is definitely the very simple things. I mean, like that. I got to be honest. The appliance repair guy. That's crazy.
It's next level
stuff.
stuff.
I've been at this shit for 9.5 years and never even thought about appliance repair. I mean, I got the the critters, the pest control guys, but that's amazing. That's amazing. That's good stuff, man. It's something new, and you take a guy like that, appliance control, repair type guy or gal. I mean, that's amazing. I know it's something that they never heard of before. That starts tomorrow.
Amen. Amen. All right, Joe, what do you got? What do you got for us?
All right, listen, guys, at the end of the day, based on all the political environment that we found ourselves in the past couple of weeks, we're really all about making ourselves and our industry better. So, yeah, there's been conversation about overhead and profit, which just was shooting bullets at the carrier. I'm going to tell you something. We bill overhead and profit. We don't fight with carriers. Just stop fighting with them. Just start billing yourself. Like, we don't have to be – this group isn't about being aggressive or pointing the finger. We're about betterment for all of us in some way, shape, or form. So our goal as leaders is just to drive that right direction and say, guys, there's just a better way. There's an easier way. Yeah, we can talk about overhead and profit, and, yeah, I can tell you guys a million ways to try to get it. But at the end of the day, it's still not 100%.
That's right.
You know what's 100%? Your effort talking to appliance repair people tomorrow. That's 100%.
Boom. I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you all for being here. First timers, come back next week. We're here next Tuesday, every Tuesday. All y'all that are here week after week, we appreciate you. Reach out, pick each other up, look for people that are down. It just comes down to helping each other. Be a part of the group, be a part of the solution. We always, always, always strive to provide more value than you ask. Give more than you ask for. It's always a win. So bless y'all. We'll see y'all next week, and we'll see you in the Facebook group. If I can figure out how to turn this off. See you guys.